Hey guys, what is going on? Chris here. Looking ahead to today's games for Monday. We got a lot of them in store for us. Anyway, I hope all you guys did enjoy the Super Bowl. There's only 3 games yesterday, and it was really early in the morning for us here on the West Coast. So, decided not to do a video for you guys since there's only 3 games. So, anyway, like I said, we got a lot of games today. Some all right tournaments, not too crazy, but some pretty good games. Some injuries, but not too many. So, as normal, guys, if you guys are interested in our premium lineups, definitely let Anthony and I know. We will have our email in the comment section. They're only $35 per month. We said if you're interested, all you have to do is email us, and we'll get you all set up on premium lineups. You get 2 to 4 lineups per day. Alrighty. No recap. So with that being said, let's get into our pretty big slate here. So alrighty, our first game we have is Oklahoma City and Indiana, 210 total in Indy by 5. So these guys played a while back and it did go into overtime. So one thing you do have to note though, Paul George did not play in that game. So definitely remember that. Anyway, I like Jeff Teague here. I like when he plays up against Westbrook. Last time he did face the Thunder, he had 58. Like I said, Paul George was not playing in that game, so usage won't be as high, but I still think he can get you around 37, 38 fantasy points here. $7,700. I think he's in a very good spot for you. So definitely for Teague, I think he's in play for me. Same as Westbrook last time. I mean, Westbrook's Westbrook. He gets huge points. But, last time he faced him, he did very well. As normal, he got you 63.7. So definitely don't mind that. All right, let's find this game. All right, so like I said, I like Westbrook. I like some Jeff Teague. Not too high on the shooting guards here. I know Oladipo had a good game last, but not really buying it. I think Paul George is in a half-decent spot. He's 8,800. I mean, I say you can play him. But for me, I don't think he's the highest guy on my radar. He's still, sitting in a good spot against OKC. So if you want to go that way, definitely watch that. Now, Thaddeus Young, I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. Has been ruled out for Saturday. They said that they're going to, look him over and see how he's feeling here against OKC. So this is one of the first games of the night, so we should have the news about Young. So if he can't play, Lavoy Allen, you have to play him. Last time he started, which was last game against Detroit, he had 39.7. I don't think he'll do that here against OKC. I still don't mind the matchup, though, against Sabonis. He doesn't really scare me too much, as Kanter's not there. So, Kanter's defense wasn't too good. But anyway, if Lavoy Allen's going to start, I think you have to put him in there for $3,500. So definitely watch that Thaddeus Young news. So if he's out, Lavoy Allen is an automatic start. Even if he gets you like 23 points, he's only $3,500. And then these centers, don't really care too much about them. One guy that kind of is catching my eye once in a while is Mr. Jeffrey Laverne. Last couple games, he's been half decent, 25 and 18. So maybe look at him, but not the craziest option out there. So for me, Westbrook and Teague, maybe some Paul George, and then Mr. Lavoy Allen is who I'm looking at. Miles Turner, not a good match against Adams. Same as Adams. Kind of cancel each other out. So, Allen, maybe some Paul George, and Westbrook and Jeff Teague in this one. So maybe 1 or 2 from this one and move on. All right, moving on. We got Cleveland and Washington at 220 total. And the spread is even. So this should be a pretty good game. Washington has been playing some very good ball. And in that time, their defense has been pretty good as well. So, as you see here, right here, Cavaliers are the 5th worst team against point guards. So obviously right away, Mr. John Wall comes to mind. As normal, since they've been doing so well, Wall obviously is the main vocal point for that team. 58, 55 in his last 2. Last time he faced Cleveland only had 34, but that's when they were struggling in the beginning of the year. So that doesn't faze me at all. I really like this matchup here for John Wall. So definitely recommend putting him in your lineup. Shooting guards for this game here. Surprisingly, Washington is actually pretty, getting a lot better against shooting guards. They're like in the bottom half best against the shooting guards. So not going to go with Mon Shepard. On the flip side, Cleveland's not too good. Mon Shepard is a pretty good defender, so I don't mind Beal. Should get you around 35, but if his shot's not on, definitely got to watch that. So I don't mind Beal, but like I said, Mon Shepard, his defense, it's pretty good defense. So still don't mind Beal, but I don't see the huge upside there. I don't mind LeBron James, but I don't think I'm going to pay up for him, even though he is in a good spot, but that's definitely not who I'm going to pay up for. Otto Porter, I think he's in a half decent spot. Yes, he's going up against LeBron James. That's going to scare some people away. But if you go look at the average here, Cavaliers are fifth worst against small forwards. So, LeBron not a bad defender, but numbers definitely don't lie. So they have been struggling against small forwards. So I don't mind some Otto Porter. Another one of those guys that doesn't have the huge upside, but $6,400 if he gets me 28 to 30 fantasy points, I take it. And as you saw, that it's a 220 total, which is pretty big. As you see, 28, 22, 26, and 27. Like I said, if he'll get you 28 to 30, you'll take that. So I don't mind some Otto Porter here. I don't think he'll be popular because he's going up against LeBron. But like I said, numbers don't lie, so I don't mind some Otto Porter. Moving on, power forward, I think Kevin Love, a very good spot, $7,600 going up against Mr. Markieff Morris. Defense does not scare me. They're going to need Love in this one. Just coming back from that injury, and he had 40.7 against New York, so I think he's going to put up at least 45 here. 40 to 45 fantasy points. 7,600, way too cheap for Kevin Love. Flip side, not too high on Morris here against Kevin Love. And then Marcin Gortat, Tristan Thompson, kind of cancel each other out. Not too interested in those guys. So John Wall, really don't mind him. Let's see what's going on with Mr. Kyrie Irving. Said he's expected to play. Okay, so he might be a little – his quad is hurting. So as we all know, John Wall, it's one of the fastest dudes in the NBA. Very, very quick dude. So if Kyrie Irving, if his quad is acting up on him a little bit, I think Wall should have a little bit easier time against Irving. So Wall, I really love him in this spot here. At home, plays really good at home. So, John Wall, don't mind Beal, but a little risky against Mon Shepard. James, not, obviously in a good spot, but I'm not going to play him. If Irving is out for some reason, then you got to play James. But if he does play, for me, like I said, he's still a good spot, but I'm not going to pay up for him. I like other guys here tonight. And then Otto Porter, don't think he'll be popular, but he's in a good spot to get you around 27 to 30. And then Kevin Love, one of my favorite power forwards out there, probably in the top four favorite power forwards of the night. And then not too interested in those guys. So, should be a pretty good game. Definitely get some guys from that one. All right, moving on. We have the Lakers and we have the New York Knicks. These guys faced a while back, but it was a high-scoring, very good game. So, with that being said, let's get into it here. All right, last time they faced, let's see here. D'Angelo Russell didn't really get to play too much. He came out of the game with an injury, only played like 13 minutes, but D-Rose looks like he's going to be back. Coaches said that he was looking good in practice. So maybe take a shot with D-Rose. Like I said, he's been out for a very long time. So that's, it's definitely a GPP. But last time, like I said, a long time ago, but last time he faced Lakers, he definitely killed. So, but I think he'll take it a little bit light on that ankle, but maybe take a shot with him. I don't mind Russell either. He's been very hot. Don't mind, not too high on that D-Rose defense. I don't mind some Lou Williams here. That's normal. Knicks aren't that good against those shooting guards. Lou Williams, 6,300 though. Price is getting up there, but he's been playing some pretty good ball. So I don't mind some Lou Williams. Courtney Lee, if Rose was out, I would definitely pick Courtney Lee, but I'm not going to go there. Small forward, I think Carmelo is in a good spot, but with D-Rose coming back, his usage will go down a little bit. But also with D-Rose coming back, puts a little bit more attention on D-Rose, so maybe Anthony gets open a little bit more. So I don't mind Anthony. He's 8,100 though. Man, it's a little much, but hey, he is in a pretty good spot. I would take a shot with Mr. Kidstep Porzingis, one of my, I really like Porzingis here. And as I said, it was a long time ago that they did face each other. But man, last time Porzingis did face the Lakers, he had a pretty good game. He had 58.4 against the Lakers on December of the 11th. So, that's pretty good. Obviously, he's been battling some injury, 26, 26, 36, and 27. I think he gets you around 35 to around 37 here. Price went down to 6,600, so I really like some Kid Steps Porzingis here quite a bit. As normal, Lakers are not good against power forwards. And then Hernan Gomez, I think he's going to be the chalk play, but you got to put him in there. Noah's not going to play. Even when Noah's playing, he's only playing like 6 minutes. Kyle Quinn's only getting like 9 to 10 minutes a game here recently. So obviously Gomez is definitely getting the run, as you see, 17, 6, and 13. So, they're going with Gomez. $5,300. I think you have to put him in there. He's an automatic slot for me. 36, 43, and 31. As I said, he'll be popular, but you got to put him in there. One of my top options here tonight. So, recap of this one. Don't mind some Russell. Maybe D Rose if you want to take a shot with him. Like I said, he's been out for a while, but maybe he comes out and gets you 35. I don't think he'll be the most popular guy. Don't mind Lou Williams. Don't mind some Carmelo. Like I said, his price is getting up there, but still in a pretty good spot. I love some Kid Steps Porzingis, and I like Gomez. So Gomez and Porzingis are probably my 2 big options from this one. And the other guys are, maybe take a shot with them, but Porzingis and Gomez are my 2 guys I will take from this game. All right, moving on. We got Utah and Atlanta. 197 total, Atlanta by 1. Not the most exciting game out there. Not too many guys I care for in this one. George Hill did have a pretty good game when they faced Atlanta not too long ago. He's $5,800 as normal. Atlanta does struggle against those point guards. So if you want to do a GPP, maybe go with Mr. George Hill. How long ago did they face him? Sorry. All right, it's not on here. But let me go look here real quick. Like I said, George Hill in a pretty good spot here against Mr. Schroeder. Let's go look at him. Last game, he did pretty well. See, and he's not too expensive. He doesn't have the huge upside, but if you're looking for around 30, maybe he'll give it to you. Last time he had 34.5 against Atlanta. Like I said, that was a long time ago, but still, I still think he'll have a half decent game here. So maybe if you want to go GPP, go that way. I'm not too high on any of these guys here. Tim Hardaway, I like him, but not in this spot. I think Gordon Hayward in a half decent spot if Cephalosha is out again. But for the most part, I'm not really too into this game. So I think I'm going to skip this one over. So maybe Hayward, maybe Hill. And that's really it. 197 total. I don't want to be messing with that with all these other big high totals out there. So, all right, going to move on from that one. We got Philly and Detroit, another one of those kind of games. We got a 213 total in Detroit by 9.5. Last time they played, Detroit annihilated them. Philly has been playing better, but they have some injuries right now. So they got blown out against the Heat not too long ago. So Joel Embiid is going to be out. Okafor, he kind of burned me last game. I was going to play him, but then decided he wasn't going to play on Saturday. So if Okafor is out again, like I said, Joel Embiid is going to be out. My GPP play is Mr. Rashawn Holmes. I don't think many people are going to have him. He's $3,600. He's in a good spot. Yeah, with Okafor out and Joel Embiid out. He had 24 minutes against Miami, 12 points, 9 rebounds, had 25.8. I don't think anyone's going to have this guy. So, I would definitely recommend putting him in there only if Okafor and, obviously Embiid's out. But if Okafor is officially ruled out, which I'm not sure if he will be because this game doesn't start until a little bit later after lock. But, I'm really hoping Okafor is out because Holmes is going to help me get in a lot of good options. So, definitely watch that news. Maybe some Marcus Morris. He's been straight up on fire. Philly not too good against small forwards at all. As you see here, 46 and 35, and a good matchup, but Morris does dud sometimes. So definitely watch that, but he is in a very good spot if you want to go that way. Shooting guard, I'm not going to trust KCP. He's an up and down kind of player. Philly's actually a lot better against point guards ever since McConnell got in there, so that's not really too good on Jackson. So don't really care for this game. As I told you, maybe. Oh yeah, I totally forgot Drummond. Sorry about that. Obviously you got to put Drummond in there. Should get you at least 15 to 20 rebounds. I don't think he's going to have the biggest points in this one. I think he can get you around 12 points, maybe 15 rebounds, but I still think, you might want to look at him 28, 40, and 23. He's been struggling a little bit, not playing those big minutes, but still, I'd recommend him, but probably at the end of the day, I won't have him in my lineup, but still, I think you have to consider him. So, for me, obviously, if you want some Urson in there, don't mind him either. So, but for me, I'm going to go Mr. Rashawn Holmes, maybe some Morris, and that's really it. Don't really want to be touching this one here too much. Alrighty, moving on. We have Clippers and Toronto. No total on this one because obviously because of the injuries. Let's go see here. Shooting guard. So Toronto just did play yesterday. DeRozan did not play in that one. Has been ruled out. So not sure if he's going to play here against the Clippers. Lowry barely did play yesterday because he had that illness. So I don't mind Lowry. I mean, I don't know, on a back-to-back with that sickness. Not my highest option, but still in a half-decent spot. I don't mind Norman Powell. He's going to be very popular. Plus, Redick's a really good defender. So I think his upside is really limited here. One guy I don't mind here is Jamal Crawford. Toronto's pretty good as well against the shooting guards, but, I think Crawford should do half decent. This guy has been on fire here recently, 28, 27, 37. So I think you have to definitely look at Jamal Crawford. Small forward, don't care for these guys too much. Blake Griffin, I think you have to put him in there. Patterson, game time decision. With no Patterson in there, Siakam and Solinger, I don't think will stop Griffin at all. So you have to look at Griffin. I think he's in a very good spot here. And then Jordan and Valanciunas, one thing about the Clippers here, they usually are pretty good against the center position. Let's go look at it here. On the season, they're 45.6, but over the last 5, they've been struggling. One of the worst teams against the center position, 54.6. So maybe Valanciunas maybe gets a little bit of extra points here. His usage is going up quite a bit with no DeRozan. So maybe a GPP play, but for the most part, not too interested. Maybe some Lucas Nogueira. But, man, going up against Griffin, if he does start, not looking forward to it. So, for me, I really like Griffin. Maybe some Jamal Crawford and maybe Lowry. Just not really into this game here. All right, moving on. We got Phoenix and New Orleans, a 221 total, and New Orleans by 5. Definitely going to be one of the games you're going to want to target here. Bledsoe, obviously. Drew Holiday, I love both of those guys. They haven't faced each other in a while, but last time they did face, Bledsoe struggled a little bit against them, but still, I don't mind him. Then obviously Drew Holiday is one of my favorite options here for sure. And then shooting guard, you got, like I said, Booker. I love him again. I think Tyreek Evans is in a good spot to get you around 23 to 25 fantasy points. $4,900. This guy is too cheap for me. Like I said, we get you 25, you'll take it. He's only $4,900. So, in a fast-paced game, I like him here. Tucker, TJ Warren, both of these guys are in play. I'd probably pick Warren, a little bit cheaper, and he's in the starting lineup. Pelicans are not good against small forwards. 29 27 in his last 2, 36 and 37 minutes. So, yeah, I definitely don't mind some Warren. I think Tucker might get a little bit extra fantasy points here. Last time he did face New Orleans, he had 31.4, I do believe. So, Tucker's been playing some good ball as well. He's been up and down, 33, 19, and 32, but this is going to be a big, fast-paced game. He's getting big minutes. So, for me, I'd probably go Warren. He's a little bit cheaper, but definitely don't mind some Tucker either. Power forward, obviously, if you want to put some Anthony Davis in there, I don't mind him. Marquise Chris went off last game. I'm not too high on him here, though. Maybe get you 20. Tyson Chandler. See, okay, so this is a little interesting for me. So Chandler, look, he's been okay. He hasn't been anything special, as you see here. Still been playing relatively big minutes, but look, he's been trash. 12, 11, 21, and 23, complete trash. Um, but it's kind of a GPP play for me here. Like I said, the only big thing here is Davis. I think might be playing at the center position, so that might hurt Chandler a little bit. But man, he is unreal against the Pelicans. 35.1 and 37.2. He's been averaging 36 fantasy points against the Pelicans, 13 points and 19 rebounds against them. So you might want to look at him. Like I said, that's a huge GPP. Don't put him in many lineups, but maybe put him in one. Just because he has such good history against them. I know he's been terrible, but maybe he gets you 30 in this one. Who knows? He won't be owned at all. So maybe take a shot with him and maybe one lineup. So Bledsoe, Holiday, love both of those guys. Booker for sure, love him. Warren, definitely don't mind him. Don't mind some Tucker, Anthony Davis, and then maybe some Chandler, some GPP. So this game, you're definitely going to want some exposure to it. Going to be a fast-paced, high-scoring game. So, all right, moving on. We got Miami and Minnesota, 206 total, and the spread is even. So I don't mind this one here either. Obviously not going to be the fastest paced game. Dragic in a half decent spot against Rubio, 8,100. I think I'm going to go other spots though. Definitely look at Tyler Johnson as well. He's been coming off the bench, getting around 25 to 30 fantasy points. So skipping those guys. I think Deion Waiters is in a very good spot. No Zach LaVine. Usually Minnesota is really good against shooting guards, but Rush is in there. Not too afraid of Rush's defense here. Deion Waiters has been absolute fire. 40, 37, and 35 in his last 3 games. 7,200. I really love him here. And then, like I said, it's a 206 total, so it's kind of a high total for a Miami game. So I really don't mind some waiters at all in this situation. I don't mind Wiggins, but I don't think I'm going to pay for him. And then for me, Karl Anthony Towns, I think he's one of the top options out there. I don't mind Hassan Whiteside, but I definitely would go Mr. Karl Anthony Towns for sure. So maybe Dragic, not my favorite, but for me, I'm focusing on Mr. Deion Waiters. It's probably the one guy I'm going to pick from this one, unless some injuries happen here. But for me, that's really it. And then Karl Anthony Towns. So those are my 2 guys. Besides that, I'm not too interested in this game. All right, moving on. We got Dallas and Denver, 213 total, and Denver by 2.5. Let me see here. All right, there we go. So anyway, as we all know, Yogi Ferrell has just been unreal. Signed a 2-year contract. We don't know what's going on with D. Will. Devin Harris is probably going to be back, but if D. Will's out again, I definitely go Yogi Ferrell. Even if Williams is back, I think Ferrell's still going to start. And then Williams is just going to take a little bit of his minutes, but still, if D. Will's out, I love Yogi Ferrell. As we know, Denver is really bad against point guards as normal, and they're all banged up right now. Look at all this game time decision stuff. So Yogi Ferrell, I think you got to put him in there. He'll be very chalky. Seth Curry, I think he's in a good spot too. He'll be at that shooting guard position if he does start. As you see here on the season, Nuggets are the number 1 worst team against shooting guards. So I think Seth Curry is, definitely look at him. I don't think he's my number 1 play, but still in a half decent spot. Wesley Matthews will be at the small forward position. I think Wilson Chandler, for sure, you got to put him in there. I think he should get you around probably around 32 to 35. No Gallinari once again. And Wesley Matthews, not a bad defender, but Chandler has a little bit of height on him, so I don't mind some Chandler at all. I think you almost have to play him. And then Harrison Barnes going to be at the power forward position against Kenneth Faried. Not too high on that one. I think they kind of cancel each other out. But one of my top plays of the night is Mr. Nikola Jokic. Yes, he had a very good game. Maybe that hurts his ownership just a little bit, but this guy's unreal. Bogut is already officially out. And then Dirk Nowitzki is probably going to get that start at that center position again. He only had 10. Yeah, that was against San Antonio. Really hard matchup, but I love him. Like I said, one of my top options here against Dirk Nowitzki. As I keep saying, Dirk not a good defender at all. And last time Jokic faced Dallas, man, he went off 47 and 55. He's been averaging 51 fantasy points in 2 games, and in one of those games, he wasn't even starting. So he's going to get you at least 55 to 60. Probably one of my number one options here tonight. I love Mr. Jokic. So definitely put him in your lineup. And these centers don't do anything for me. So for me, Yogi Ferrell, I think you put him in there. Not my top option, but he's relatively cheap. Don't mind some Seth Curry, don't mind Matthews, but for me, Wilson Chandler, I think for me, and Mr. Jokic are my 2 big options there. I think that's where, if I had to pick anyone from this one, Jokic for sure, and then Wilson Chandler, a very close second. All right, 2 more games. This one, oh my goodness, 203 total in San Antonio by 2. Okay. Honestly, don't care for this game. I really do not. Mike Conley might be in a half decent spot here against Mr. Tony Parker. Kawhi Leonard, I think he's in a good spot here. I think he should do good, but not a fast-paced game. Might get you 40 to 45. I just don't really care for this game at all. Zebo, I think he might do half decent off the bench. But, yeah, I'm not really into this game. Let me go see. Marc Gasol might be interesting. Let me go see here how the Spurs have been over the last 5 games with no Pau Gasol. All right, they're averaging 44.4 the last 5. So maybe put in some Marc Gasol. I don't think he'll be popular at all against San Antonio. Going up against Dedmon, though, does not scare me too much. 8,900, that's getting up there, though. So I don't mind Marc Gasol if you just want to go in a deep GPP. He is rested at 52 against OKC. Let me go. I don't know his history here against San Antonio. I don't think it's anything crazy, but let's go see here just to see if he's a GPP option here tonight. 8,900 against the Spurs, has not faced him. Okay, so maybe Marc Gasol, but not really into this game. So for me, like I said, I don't really care for anyone in this game. Maybe Mike Conley, that's really it. So I'm going to pass on this one. Not interested in that one at all. All right, last but not least, we got Chicago and Sacramento. So these guys faced on, I think, January 21st. It was 102 to 99. Chicago won that game. Yeah, this is one of my favorite games too. As normal on a big slate, the late game doesn't have much ownership. I think 2 nights ago when when Golden State played Sacramento, Kevin Durant, obviously he didn't do anything, but he was only like 6% owned in most tournaments. So usually the late games don't get too much attention. So, but this is one of my sleeper kind of games. I think this should be a good game. Sacramento, as you guys all saw, just beat the Warriors. They got a little bit of momentum in them. So, Chicago's having some issues still. So anyway, I don't really care about these point guards. Maybe some Collison, but maybe some Michael Carter-Williams if Butler's out, which I think he will be. But that was kind of last minute. I don't think Carter-Williams would start. McDermott, I think, would start in his place. But for me, I usually don't pick Mr. Dwayne Wade, but man, I love him here. If Butler is going to be out, which I think he's going to, as normal, Wade, his usage is going to skyrocket. 7,800. He, as you see here, 40, and he's been really consistent. 32, 40, and 34 in his last 3. Last time he faced Sacramento not too long ago had 55.2. I love Dwayne Wade here, as you guys should as well. So one of my top options. If Jimmy Butler is out, Matt Barnes, I think he'll be a little bit more popular. I don't know how much I'm going to rely on him because usually Matt Barnes doesn't have 3 good days in a row. 25 and 33. He has been playing a little bit better here, been playing bigger minutes. So I don't mind Matt Barnes, but I wouldn't put all your money on him because he could bust. But if Butler doesn't play, I think Barnes is, a little bit more likable. Paul Zisper. I'm not exactly sure if I said that right. I think he's going to have a decent start here as well. If Butler is out, as you see, at 29 minutes against Houston, only had 22 points, nothing crazy. Then only had 15 against Sacramento last time we faced them. But like I said, if Butler's out, he's going to have to start, maybe get you 23, 24. So I don't mind this guy, but there's some other options I would rather go for. Power forward, Taj Gibson. When Butler was out, he definitely did very good as well. But chances are he'll be going up against DeMarcus Cousins, and I'm not too high on that matchup. But for me, I think, man, Jokic and DeMarcus Cousins are probably my two favorite options here on the slate. As I said, they just faced not too long ago, and Cousins absolutely annihilated the Chicago Bulls. As I said, he's 11,000. I don't think his ownership should be crazy. 67.3 against Chicago. This guy has been unreal. You have to get DeMarcus Cousins in your lineup. Like I said, Jokic and Cousins are my two top options here this evening. So with that being said, Wade, maybe some Zisper, maybe some Matt Barnes, DeMarcus Cousins. You have to have him in there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. So, alrighty, guys, that was a lot of games. Try and get you guys a lineup. I'm not sure if I can. There's not a lot of value out there so far. Need some to open up. So let's try and get you guys a lineup. So I think Drew Holiday, I love him. Let's see who else here. Yogi Ferrell, I think you might have to put him in there. So for this one, let's go put in Jokic. And let's say that Mr. Thaddeus Young is not going to play. We're going to put in Allen here just for now. Like I said, this is earlier in the day, so anything could happen. But I'm going to put Allen in there for now, just because I think Young's going to be out. Small forwards, nothing crazy here. I think you can kind of punt this position. I think for this one, I'm going to go these two, just for now. You can go down to Warren if you want to go that way. Center, I don't think I can get Boogie, but, man, I really want him in there. Dwayne Wade. I think Booker are my two options here. All right, so I can't get in Boogie, unfortunately, but I'm going to go with Mr. Hernan Gomez. I think he should be in a good spot. And then a $4,800 point guard. Ooh, I don't know how to get here. So I guess let's see if this gets me anybody here. I really don't want Porter and TJ Warren. I don't think that's the greatest combo. But that doesn't really get me anybody at the shooting point guard position. All right, let's see if there's anybody I missed here at that small forward. All right, got Ross, got Chandler, Miles, Warren. All right, well, I guess we'll just put him in there. I don't know if that's going to get me anybody. Let's take out Warren and put in Matt Barnes. Like I said, I don't know how much I want on him. As normal, this is just a draft lineup. What does that get me here? 72. So that doesn't really get me anything. So anyway, as I said, I really like some Drew Holiday. I think you got to get him in there. Eric Bledsoe, I love him. John Wall, Westbrook. Like I said, there's so many good high options out there. Jeff Teague, a very good option there. And if you don't like anyone here, Yogi Ferrell, I think obviously he's going to be popular, but in a very good spot. Shooting guards, Dwayne Wade, Deion Waiters, Booker are probably my three guys I really like in this one. Tyreek Evans, I think, is in a pretty good spot. Maybe get you 23, 24. Small forward, it's not looking too good for me. Paul George, maybe some Carmelo, But for me, I'm looking around Otto Porter, Wilson Chandler, maybe some Markieff Morris, Tucker and Warren. It's kind of where I'm looking here, and maybe some Matt Barnes, but might have to punt that small forward position away. And then power forward, I said Jokic. Like I said, probably my number one option out there. Don't mind Blake Griffin, maybe some Ersan, and then as I said, Allen. Allen and Rashawn Holmes. Definitely watch those two guys as well. They are definitely good GPP picks. And then center position, Mr. Cousins, one of the best out there. Jokic, like I said, Jokic and Cousins are the two best options. And then I don't really care for anyone else. You might just want to punt that position with Mr. Hernan Gomez. Maybe take a shot with Chandler, but it's really risky. So, yeah, Gomez and I think Cousins are my two centers, and that's really it. So yeah, unfortunately didn't get to finish you guys in the lineup, but have to work on it throughout the day. A lot of news is going to happen and a lot of games. So, all right, guys, with that being said, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos. And as normal, if you guys are struggling on NBA, you guys need some help, definitely let Anthony and I help you out. We will have our email in the comment section if you want premium lineups, $35 per month, 2 to 4 lineups per day, depending on the slate. So if you guys are struggling, definitely hit us up. So, all right, guys, I think that does it. As I said, a lot of games out there. Hopefully you guys find the right match, and hopefully you guys win some money. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.